Hey nerds, we are going to be talking about light sources, and more specifically how light sources play a role in how value is added to a drawing. So I have my example room here, and there's a couple things I want to point out, okay? Thing number one, okay, just because there are more than one places that light can be coming from doesn't necessarily mean that that's actually in play. So for example, I have one window, two windows, and then two lamps, and these are all potential light sources, okay? If I added a light at the top of my ceiling, that'd be another light source. So a place that light can come from. But if we take a look at the shadows, okay, look at the shadows in the space. We have a shadow on, a very dark shadow on this side of my chair and also on the ground. I have shadow underneath my desk. I got some shadows right here coming this direction underneath here. I got shadow on this side of my beams on the ceiling, but it's brighter on this side, okay? Based off of just that information of where the shadows are located, I know without a doubt that this is my light source, okay? Now, you can tell because the light source, wherever your light's coming from, whatever it hits, okay, that's the lightest section of the object, okay? And then if the light is being blocked, that creates a shadow, okay? So where your light source is plays a huge role in what happens with the shadows and stuff going on here, okay? So for example, we got our first window here, okay? And if we take a look at that window, we can tell that the light source, so this is very similar to the one I just showed you, okay? Because the light source is here, and then the light radiates out, okay? Comes out from this space, and that's why we have our shadows here, 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 here. It's darker up here, lighter on this side because the light's hitting it, okay? Because like I was saying, the light radiates out. So if this is my light source, you have light coming out just like this, which is why I have a shadow on this side of my object right here. But then I have a shadow right here for my llama on this side, which doesn't make sense until you think about how light works, okay? So we want to compare at how greatly different light source from this side, see how it shades in a room, and compare it to the other side, okay? Notice some of the big changes. Look at the ceiling, how it's basically flip-flopped. It's opposite, okay, because the light's coming from the opposite side, okay? Notice the chair and how the shadow is on the opposite side, okay? We don't have a shadow underneath, but we did before, okay, because the light's coming through and it's shining right on this front of the cabinet, okay? So where your light source is plays a huge role, and sometimes you even have lamps and multiple light sources, okay? And when you have multiple light sources, notice what happened to my chair right here. There's actually two shadows. We have a shadow going this way and a shadow going this way, okay? You can notice that in any room that has multiple lights on the ceiling especially, you notice that there's a bunch of different shadows for a single object, okay? But notice how we have it's lighter up here, but that's because of this light here. But then it's also light over here, but that's because of this light having a little bit of light shining in over here, okay? Shadow, 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 shadow. And all plays a role, okay? Those two light sources make a huge difference, okay? So really understanding how that light works can give you a great advantage when it comes to adding value to your room, okay? Understanding that it radiates from a point, almost like how orthogonals radiate or come from your vanishing point when you're drawing in one-point perspective. Same kind of thing going on. So understanding this concept helps you make firm decisions on where each of your shadows and highlights and things go in your drawing. So I hope that this was helpful, and check out my other videos.